بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على نبينا Muhammad وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم أما بعد. To continue in the study of تذكرة السامع والمتكلم of Ibn Jamaah rahimahullah ta'ala, we are still in the chapter of when the author rahimahullah he discusses the great status and rights of the scholars and the manners that a individual must have with his teacher, that a student must have with his teacher. And he says point number 4 is that he understands and acknowledges the right of the teacher and does not forget his virtue. And he says, Al-Shu'ba rahimahullah said, كنت إذا سمعت من الرجل حديث, if I would hear a hadith from a man, I would be a slave for him so long as I am alive. Showing that one must show them their great, the nobility that they have and the great status they have, show respect to that and acknowledge that. I should not belittle his teacher or look down upon him. As we mentioned last week, that a teacher, you should look at him as one who is above you in status, knowledge-wise, and one who has a right above you. Not one as some people nowadays, they look at the teacher as one who is equal to them. Or that they may even feel that why are they not in the teacher's seat? Or that they are stronger than the teacher regarding knowledge. No, rather, one benefits from his teacher and understands his status and gives him his due rights. He says, and he said that, I did not hear from anyone anything except I would go to him more often than that which I heard from him. What he intends here, rahimahullah, is that he wouldn't only go to his teacher to benefit from him knowledge-wise, but rather he would go to him at times to find comfort or to serve his teacher or help him out or other than this. Meaning he would stick to his teacher. And you find this often that the students, they stick to their teacher much, whereas they have stories outside of the classroom with their teachers. So it's important that one honors his teacher, knows his rights, and serves him, and takes care of his affairs if he is in need of help, and accompanies him. As as you hear many times from many of the scholars that they accompanied the scholars and they benefited such and such benefits from them. A story recently that I came across or I heard was Shaykh Abdul Razak al-Badr mentioning that from that which he used to benefit was traveling with his father. His father would take him and he would accompany him to different lessons of the scholars. And due to those lessons and due to accompany him, he would learn much manners from it. As he mentioned his story when his father took him to this class of Shaykh bin Baz. And when Shaykh bin Baz rahimahullah would hear the adhan, he wouldn't teach or he wouldn't speak, he would repeat after the adhan, as the Prophet instructed us to do so. So he said one day when Shaykh bin Baz was listening to the adhan and repeating after the adhan, after he's repeating after the adhan, the students, they left Shaykh bin Baz. So Shaykh Abdul Razak was a young man. He said, I found an opportunity now to ask Shaykh bin Baz. So he said, I went to Shaykh bin Baz to ask him a question at this point. And Shaykh bin Baz told me, Al-Adhan. Meaning listen to the adhan and repeat after the adhan. So showing you that one accompanies the teachers to their different lessons or mixes with them and accompanies them. And they have stories that occur after that benefit you in your life and other than that, by just accompanying the teacher or the sheikh that you have. And then he says, and from that which exonerates or makes great their status, or that he holds him in high status, that if someone speaks bad about him while he is not present, then he gets upset at that, and he defends his teacher. If he is not able to defend his teacher at this time, then he stands up and leaves the sitting. And this is an important point. You find many times you sit with certain individuals that you may call them as your friends, for you do not know their situation until later on, and they'll speak bad about the scholars. And this one is laughing, and that individual is laughing. They say a scholar gave a fatwa such and such, and that's called a one-known scholar, one who is known for his knowledge and insight, and that even what they're discussing may be something of ijtihad, which is called ijtihad, and he's rewarded for that which is correct in 2 rewards, and if that which is wrong, he gets 1 reward. But you find they say these statements. So in that kind of sitting, if you're not able to defend that scholar, defend your teacher, then you get up and leave. And you leave that sitting to show displeasure with that. And he says, befitting that you make dua for him so long as you are alive, and that you take care of his dhurriya, his offspring, and his family members, and his children after his death. And that you visit his grave, and make istighfar for him, and give sadaqah for his sake. As for visiting his grave, then the scholars have mentioned that visiting the grave was intended here is that you go and give him salams, as is the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, that you go to visit the graves for admonition and remembering death and give salams, then that is okay. But if what is intended is the visitation of the Sufis, whereas they go to the graves to seek blessings from the graves, or that they make dua, they say that dua by the graves or this specific righteous man's grave is more virtuous and more closer to being answered, then that's wrong. Then that is not what is allowed. That's not allowed. And then he says that he follows him in his guidance and that which the path he treads, and that he looks into his knowledge and his religion and his customs, and he follows that and his different movements. And that he takes his manners as his manners and he does not leave off following him. Now this is also long as that teacher's manners and teacher's knowledge and everything is in compliance with the Quran and the Sunnah and following the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. He says point number 5 is that he is patient upon the harshness which may occur from his teacher, or the evil or the bad manners that may occur from the teacher. And this is something which is and he says that should not turn him away from sticking to him and learning from him. This is something which is important because we have to understand that a teacher or the sheikh that we study from, at the end of the day, he's a human being. Occurrences occur in his life that will affect him as a human being. As the scholars they mentioned, perhaps he may get affected in a bad way from his students, or it may occur from his family members, or it may occur from someone else that may affect him in the wrong way. And at that time, he may be upset and some harshness may occur from him. Or some kind of statements may occur from him, because at the end of the day, he's a human being. So if that occurs from your teacher, then do not hold them accountable for that. Do not make that a reason to not seek knowledge from him. He says, whilst the teacher's aqidah belief is okay, do not turn away from him, but rather interpret his actions to that which is correct. And interpret them in a nice way. And he should make excuses for his teacher and seek repentance for him, and that he should say perhaps it is his fault, not the teacher's fault, but his fault, maybe something he did wrong, for that will make the love between him and the teacher last longer and preserve his heart, and more beneficial for the student in his dunya and in his hereafter. And then he says, it comes from some of the Salaf, the one who is not patient upon lowering oneself while learning, he will remain his whole life as ignorant. And the one who is patient is affair will turn to honor in this dunya and the hereafter. And he said that some of them said, be patient for your sickness, even if your doctor is harsh, even due to the harshness of your doctor. And be patient to cure your ignorance, even if your teacher is harsh. So the same way you might find a doctor might be harsh, at times you're patient because you're seeking that medicine from the doctor. He has to write you a medicine, he has to write you a prescription. You're patient upon that. With the harshness of the doctor, then you might see from him. So similarly, to cure your ignorance, be patient with the harshness of a teacher if it may occur. He said that it says, إِنَّ الْمُعَلِّمُ وَالطَّبِيبُ كِلَيْهِمَا, that the teacher and the doctor, both of them, لَا يَنْصَحَانِ إِذَا هُمَا لَمْ يُكْرِمَا, they will not be sincere to you if you do not honor them. And it comes from Mu'afa ibn Imran that the one who gets upset at his teacher or the scholar is the one who gets upset at those who work in the Jamaah. Meaning is this praiseworthy. Al-Shafi rahimahullah said, it was said to Sufyan ibn Uyayna, indeed a people come to you from the different lands and you get upset at them. And perhaps they may leave from you and not benefit from you. So Sufyan, he said, hum humqa, they are foolish ones, like you. If they do so, leave me, they are foolish ones like you. If they leave off benefiting, due to my bad manners. They are foolish like you if they leave me off for not benefit from me due to my bad manners. Now this is a benefit that must be understood. Nowadays, we find that people nowadays feel that if you are a bit harsh towards him or towards a certain individual, that harshness is not a reason to completely leave you off. Or if you have a certain manners that is not right, they leave you off due to that. And this is not something that you deal with a teacher with. Example, you find some of the people that say, I don't study from such and such teacher. Why? Because he's harsh. Or even doctors, you find someone that say, I don't go to so-and-so doctor, though he's a specialist, because he's harsh. You leave the benefit of your deen when you leave that teacher due to his harshness. It's better to be patient with him. and you leave the benefit of your dunya, if you leave that specific specialist doctor who is a specialist in his field due to his bad manners, but you go to one who is not a specialist and he has good manners, but he's not a specialist, and you rather harm your deen and your dunya to leave those off just because they have some harshness with them or some bad manners. Now obviously it's important that the teacher have good manners, and the teacher be those who has the best of manners. But it may occur that the teacher has some form of manners that are not in accordance to what you deem to be good manners. Or it may be that you may find some harshness from him. That should not be a reason to leaving him off. Yes, the teachers, they should have the best of manners, manners in which they follow the Prophet ﷺ in it. But if at times some form of manners occurs on them that are not right, or some harshness occurs on them that are right, you should not leave them. For if you leave them, you're only harming yourself. You're leaving that knowledge that they have with them, that you can benefit from, and be patient with their harshness and benefit from them. You're leaving that off and you're remaining ignorance. You're not benefiting from him. And you may go to someone who has the best of manners, but he is not as knowledgeable as him. Yes, we're saying it's best to have a teacher who has the best of manners, and that he be one who follows the Prophet in his manners. But if it occurs from your teacher that he has some form of harshness or some form of bad manners, then don't make that a reason to leave off your teacher. Rather make it a reason for you to be patient upon it. And this is how the scholars in the past were. They're patient upon their teachers' manners if some form of bad manners occurred from them. He said, Abu Yusuf said, 5 is obligatory upon a person to comply with their wishes. And from them he said, Al-Alim, the scholar, to take from him his knowledge. To take from him his knowledge. So this part is to be patient with the teacher's harshness if it occurs, or some kind of bad manners that they may have. That one is patient with that, because the outcome of him being patient with it is that he benefits from his knowledge and he attains that knowledge that teacher has. Then he says, point number 6, that he thanks the teacher for helping him come across upon that which is noble, and that he thanks him for rebuking him for that which is dispraiseworthy or lowly, or due to some form of laziness that he may have, or some form of shortcomings that he might be going through, or than that, from that which the teacher makes him aware of. And him rebuking him and guiding him and correcting his affairs, he should thank the teacher for that. For that is from the bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that the Shaykh is paying concern to someone like you, or that he's paying concern to you. For that is shows that the teacher is paying concern to you and that he is trying to help you. If the teacher shows him a certain type of manner, or to take him away from a certain type of bad manners or lowly manner, or something dispraiseworthy, then he should stay away from it, and he should go towards that which the teacher is calling to. Now, if he knows that he has this thing which is good, that he should be doing it, or that there's something in him that is wrong and he should be leaving it off, and the teacher makes him aware of that, he should not make it seem to the teacher, yes, I'm aware of it. Rather, he should make it seem as he is not aware of it, and thank the teacher for benefiting him. And thank the teacher for benefiting him, for in that is an excuse for him. But if there is a benefit in letting the teacher know of why you did not do that noble act, or did not stay from that bad act, or that lowly act, then there's no problem with this in this case, to let him know if there's a benefit. But leaving it off, or if leaving it off is going to harm you, not explaining yourself further, then you explain yourself further, and you must make it known to him. But if there's no benefit or no harm, then you thank the teacher, and you do not make it seem like you're aware of it, for that is better for you. That is better for you in the sense as an excuse for you. It's an excuse for you as well. So these are some of the manners that the author mentioned, rahimahullah, that one must have with the teacher. From the first one is know that you must know the teacher's right upon you, and give him his due right, and honor him, and not be from those who deem him lowly or look down upon him. And secondly, that if some form of harshness occurs to the teacher, or there's some kind of bad manners that he may have, or harshness that you find that is a bit harsh, that you're patient upon that in order to benefit from his knowledge that he has, so that you may be from those who benefit from that which he has with him and Allah's blessed him with. And the last point, that you thank him for that which he gives you of benefits, of noble characteristics and noble points and different affairs, and that you accept when he rebukes you, and that you also thank him for that. if you know that there's some form of laziness that may occur from you, or some kind of harm that may come to you, and the teacher rebukes you for that, you thank him for that. You thank him for that. And this occurs at times, and it's occurred to some of us as well, that at times you may fall into certain affairs, and a teacher or one you may know who is knowledgeable, he rebukes you for it, and says to you, brother, I think you should stay away from this act. Yes, it may be mubah, it may be permissible, or it may be okay to do so, but he finds that it is taking you away too much from your time of seeking knowledge. Then the teacher rebukes you, and he tells you, stay away from it, or take benefit from your time, and other than these statements. That is due to him being out of compassion towards you, taking you away from that which might be permissible to that which is better, and that is seeking knowledge. So you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us from those who benefit from some of these manners and apply them with our own teachers. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept this from us. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.